Today on Suncoast View, could a local budget battle be at the expense of Suncoast kids and their youth sports fields? We'll discuss.
It is the day we have been waiting for, the opening of Sarasota's second Whole Foods location and an entire convenience plaza at University Station.
And a classic play, fresh from a Broadway revival, opens here on the Suncoast. We'll preview The Glass Menagerie. All that more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show and welcome back to Sheba Mateo. Great to have you with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here always.
I was going to tell one of our little secrets. On days Sheba's in the show, I'm late to the set. And I usually get a couple glares from Joey here because it's really fun to hang out in the makeup room.
Oh my goodness, you are not kidding.
And this is what Linda and I have said for all 3 years we've done the show, is that in our busy lives, we don't have a lot of time to hang out with any of our coworkers. So that for Linda and I, it's often while we're sitting here. For you and me, it tends to be in the makeup room. We had ex-husbands, ex-wives, stepchildren. We had it all aired out.
Well, I will let you in on a little secret. The walls between the men's makeup room and the women's are very thin. So as long as you're not using a hairdryer, I can hear everything.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I don't apologize for anything I say, as we've all noticed. So.
Oh, I do.
I do too. I'm with you.
It's good conversation.
I bet. Well, that's why it's hard to get out here. We're having a good old time.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to enjoy it as well. See? All right, on that embarrassing note, let's see if I can get bailed out in the kitchen. I talk even more when I do what Michael Scalzi's brought with us from Cask and Ale. What are we making today?
We're going to be making an original cocktail off of our brand new menu. It's called the On the Lash. It's kind of a cross between a whiskey sour and a Manhattan.
Oh,
that sounds good.
I love that.
We all perked up a little bit.
Exactly. You think tongues were a-flapping before. Add a little of that and it gets even better. All right. Thank you very much, Mike. Great to have you with us. It is time for our first hot topic. And county versus city budget battles are nothing new. But now some Venice residents say it may be at the expense of children. Sarasota County has told Venice, Sarasota, and Northport that their agreement for the county to handle park maintenance will end October 1st. Now a group called Save Wellfield and Chuck Ryder Fields says that means youth sports leagues have problems. The group told the county commission if they can spend $52 million on Benderson Park and a new Braves stadium, they should be able to figure out how to mow the lawn for playing fields for area youth teams. Ouch.
Yes, they should be able to. I think I pay my taxes because I want the children here to have opportunities. And it's a terrible thing when it goes to corporations instead of the children. We need to bring a lot of tourists here. But the reason we do is so we can make better lives for our kids. So the kids come first.
I don't like ever seeing kids used as a pawn, and in this case, that's kind of what I think is happening. Do I really think they're going to stop maintaining youth sports fields? No. But the county has said, okay, we're out of money, people, you figure it out, as their way of working with the budget. Don't do that.
No.
Don't.
That's not fair to the kids, not fair to the parents. This is a nice reminder, though, I think no matter what industry you're in, that checks and balances are important. And you can have a 5-year plan that involves growth, but you have to make sure that you are continuing to take care of the day-to-day things.
Yes.
And also, it's interesting to me, just hearing, about this a little bit, that message has not been communicated along the way. Right? There should have been community involvement all along. There should have been, one hand kind of, washing the other parents, maybe a little bit more involved all along. It shouldn't, this is kind of an abrupt stop. This is what we're going to do. Let's hand it over. So, just
like I said, I have no doubt they're going to work this out. But now they've got everybody all fired up because there was that veiled threat of, well, we're thinking about not doing this anymore.
Often they work it out by letting the parents pay for it. So this is not a good solution. This is not a possible solution.
I will tell you that youth sports alone costs plenty, and we don't want to pay to lawn mow on top of everything else.
Doesn't it tell you too that you really, on a local level, you always need to stay involved? Always.
I agree.
Who your local, representatives are, local neighborhood watch, everything. It just reminds you got to take care of your block.
That's right.
All right. Well, at the risk of starting a big fray, the county commission meeting at the end of February, we'll be talking about this. So I expect there'll be plenty of people present. Yes. So Tampa International Airport is ranked highly on a list that we would probably rather not be on. Tampa is the #6 airport in the country for guns seized at security checkpoints. TSA says they caught 97 guns, 90 of them loaded at Tampa security last year. Now, nationwide firearm discoveries are up nearly 17%. Atlanta topped the list. Orlando came in 7th.
Wow.
That's a little scary because if they caught that many, a lot of them got through. It's scary that people are taking them on planes.
Yes, it surprises me the number of people that fly armed.
Well, isn't it's open carry, right?
But
Open
not on an airplane.
not
I'm
on
not
an
gonna-
airplane per se.
I did not
but-
read the law well enough to quote it perfectly.
No.
I am not a firearm
That's
owner, but
right.
I believe you can bring a firearm on an airplane. You have to check it in locked luggage, I think is the way it's worded.
I'm not
sure
even-
about the locked part.
I'm not
But I
aware.
don't think there's any way it's ever okay going through TSA. That's why we're all going through TSA.
You can just put it in your suitcase?
I believe so.
think
Don't quote me on that.
I don't believe so,
I'm
but
not
I
sure.
could be wrong
Yeah,
too.
You certainly
I-
can't
I know
walk
that's a
on.
shock, but I might
Yeah.
be wrong.
Here was my problem with it,
No
though.
pun intended.
If I am carrying a firearm, I would want to know the law and not be trying to walk into TSA with it. So I don't know if that's an education issue or
Yeah.
if it's a hope to sneak it through issue or if it's a blatantly sorry I forgot.
Yeah.
I mean, I
See,
walk
that-
through with
well,
corkscrews
well,
and I'm not going to stab anybody. I just like to drink wine.
Right.
Yes, and again, speaking to your point, I'm unaware of the specifics with regard to
High
the
number, though.
law. Yeah.
And why here?
I
Yeah.
over worry anyway, surprise.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
I under worry for you.
so we balance. If I have a mouthwash, I'm afraid I'm going to jail.
That's
you
right,
know?
that's right.
So it was
How
at
about lip gloss?
3.5.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
so-
good point, though. I looked up razors because at first I wasn't sure. I thought, can you really carry a razor on? I mean, I could use that as a weapon. So I looked it up. If I was going to walk around with a gun, I'm going to look it up. So I just
I've lost a lot of little manicure scissors and things like
Right.
that on the plane.
Exactly.
They took them
So
away.
I think it's hard to generalize with that because every case I'm sure is so
It is,
different.
but the
Where
bottom line
some
is
may
we
have
made
been
we made the
sneaking
list.
them on.
Yeah, we made the list. It's definitely
Wow.
happening here. Well, despite recent headlines of whether or not men and women can actually act appropriately together in the workplace, a new Harris poll shows that both men and women want more women in the workplace, especially in leadership positions. 2,000 adults were polled. Half said that they would prefer to work at a female-led company over a male-led company. That includes 46% of men that were asked. 81% of women as well, and 59% of men said that when they see women in leadership positions, they're encouraged to believe that they can also achieve a leadership position. Women-led companies are perceived to be more purpose-driven. Thoughts?
I can see why a man would walk into a company with a woman at the head and think, well, they do promote according to your ability, because usually it would be a man at the head. So they're watching you and they're looking for ability.
As long as he isn't thinking, well, a woman can run the company, obviously I can. As long as he's not thinking that.
Exactly. So of course, statistically, women in general, we're just better communicators in terms of conveying that message, simply because we use more words. We use more words to get to the end. To the end.
Joey's like,
more
yeah, no
words to
kidding.
get to the end of the topic and to make your point. So with that being said, I think in leadership roles that comes through. And there's study after study after study that talks about just being able to be flexible, understanding how to bring different groups together. So there's a lot of research to back that up as well.
But my real thought is, I think it depends on the personality, man or
Yes.
woman. It depends
Absolutely.
on the personality. You can't say all women are good leaders.
That's right.
all
No.
men-
That's right.
It,
Can't
it just
generalize.
depends
We've
on the
all loved
individual.
working for both, and we've all hated working
Yeah,
for both.
exactly.
Yesterday,
Yes.
as we were looking at the statistics, I thought, well, all of my favorite bosses that I've had, they don't have very much in common, except that they were all good bosses.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mine talked a lot. I'm a girl.
And it rubbed off, can you tell? That's why we like her here. All right, well, doesn't it seem like having a good social life, full of cocktails and calories, can quickly derail our goals to eat healthy and exercise more? So some are celebrating by getting sweaty rather than getting sloshed. Gym birthday parties used to be reserved for hyperactive young kids. Now they are trending for adults as well. Super gyms, as they're called, are hard to get into as bars for classes like ninja training and weight training. So gyms are offering adult parties with a workout theme, complete with smoothies and protein shots as part of the celebration. What do you think?
I love it, as long as the smoothie involves a shot of tequila.
No. Well,
Just kidding.
Joey
No,
and I talked
seriously.
about this
I
purpose,
think it's
though.
great. I think it's wonderful because for us, or anyone that has children in
Speak for
general.
yourself.
Yeah, I mean you're setting an example. My daughter and I talk about it all the time. I'm like, I've got to go to this adult party. She's like, Mommy, what do you do at the adult party? I was like, we grab a cocktail, we sit around and talk. We grab a cocktail, we sit around and talk. I was like, I'd rather go to your party. You guys, you were at Fun Zone and you were jumping around all day. So it's a different example that we need to set for our children too.
To my friends, for my 80th birthday in July, we are not going to the gym.
Okay.
So don't worry about that.
But you and I discussed that how, if you make a dry January pledge, and by the way, it's the last day if you've done that, just saying, or if, we've certainly all trying to eat more healthy and work out more. When you go out to have a social plan, you're like, what should we do? Yes. You're like, okay, I don't want to go to the bar, I'm trying not to drink. I really don't want to go out to dinner because my calories will be higher than I want them to be. And they're like, okay, what do we do? We can go see a movie, but the smell of the popcorn's going to kill me. And you realize that so much is based around food and
you know that
drinking.
When you diet.
Exactly,
Yes.
and we've all been there. And it's frustrating to me because I don't want to not have a social life, but I'm determined to keep on my plan if I'm really doing it like that.
Yes.
Which I'm not, by the way.
Many weekend events that even we do, like in my house in our relationship, we're like, oh, let's go to the park or let's go downtown and have a Bloody Mary.
Right.
It involves, I love the idea, there's probably something in between, so not every party has to have a huge fitness level, but I love the idea of going and experiencing things together. If wine or drinks happen to be a part of it, that's great. But I would love if it was something else, like the painting and sipping classes, those are popular for a reason.
Oh, that's a good point, because they can be, involving wine or cannot.
Well, I could take my friends to the gym, and we could sit in the back and have a cocktail and watch the good-looking people work
And I'll be right there
I'd
with
go
you.
to that party.
All right. Well, speaking of healthy choices, have you thought about trying souping as part of your diet plan? Now, at first I was thinking cupping, and I got very concerned, but this is soup. So nutritionists are big fans of regularly incorporating soup into our diets. Soups create balance after an indulgent weekend and, of course, provide hydration. But studies show when soup is eaten before a meal, you'll consume less the rest of the meal. This is how it works. Binding water into food, such as making soup, slows down our stomach emptying, and that keeps us fuller longer. Obviously, the key is avoiding fatty soups with cream and cheese, but if you're thinking about cutting calories, consider more soup. I love this idea.
Yes,
Me too.
I was told by a nutritionist when you go to a strange restaurant and you don't know how many calories there are, just order soup because that's your best choice, not to go overboard in calories.
Lots of sodium, though, if you're not making the
I
soup
love
yourself.
sodium.
Can I just be where you are? I just want to be where you are in your life. Me too. And I'm really trying here. But so I recently, what I'll try to do is for lunch, like I will, if I'm at the house, I will just make a quick broth. I have like these little packets that I get from, there's a Oriental market. It's delicious.
So you can
I
make
put
a good broth.
Make a delicious broth. I take the kale, the dinosaur kale, throw it in, and that's it. Sometimes I'll slice onions, let it boil, and it's delicious. And it's filling because the dinosaur kale is very thick and crunchy.
It's a very scary sounding
it's
food.
amazing.
Dinosaur kale.
Dinosaur kale. It's great though. Filled with nutrients.
Yeah, try selling that to the kids.
And you have a shot of tequila if you're at home. No, just kidding.
Everything. Souping though is good, isn't it? It's like the same reasons why some types of juicing are better because juice you lose some of the fiber, but in soup you get all the whole vegetables going in there.
And it's easy for your body to break, to break down.
Digest it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and if you don't love vegetables, which I don't, once they've simmered in broth for a couple hours, I'm good.
Yes.
So,
And I mean,
although I don't know about dinosaur kale, I'm not even sure where you get.
Delicious.
All right, we'll see. But that's our diet tip for the day. So it is also the time of year where you start to see people kind of drop off from their fitness resolutions. Well, you know how hard it is to get out of a gym contract. When one man wasn't allowed to break his contract over the phone, he came up with a different solution. He sent a breakup letter, maybe a Dear John, to Planet Fitness. He says, I know I've been distant, he wrote, but it's because I've changed. I have different needs now. And to be frank, you really haven't changed at all. He goes on to say that he now has a new exercise facility, and though he still loves Planet Fitness, it's going to be more of a friend type situation. All good things must come to an end. You just keep being you, and while we will both grow, it will be without each other. I think this is for the better. My favorite, P.S., my wife also needs to cancel her membership. Did it work? That's what I want to
you gotta
know.
get points for creativity,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but it is hard. I don't think they'll read that letter. I think they'll throw it in the trash and keep charging him.
Yes, we had a membership that traveled with us from Northern Virginia to Florida, and we would call, and then all of a sudden we'd call to cancel that account, and then we had duplicate accounts, and then we would call to cancel this account, and then they'd cancel that account. I mean, it was literally a nightmare.
I understand why they make it so so difficult.
Well, think how they get you like a relationship
Yes.
because they woo you
Yes,
around January
that's right.
when, you know, very much like a
When
relationship,
she-
and then you're not breaking up from me. You know,
Yeah.
you're not getting away from me.
You're not
You could get a
leaving me.
divorce easier.
Yes, not that easy.
Oh.
All right, January 31st. We'll see how we all do into February. We're going to check out our happy hour forecast. And when we come back, we're going to learn about Free Fall Theater's new take on a very old and recognizable play.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your first alert weather forecast, and it looks like it's pretty good this afternoon. After a pretty cold start this morning, low temperatures down in the low 40s, wind chills in the mid to upper 30s, but it warmed in the low 70s, and the dew point still pretty low. We're going to get cool again tonight, but not nearly as cold as we saw this morning. We have an east wind at 11 miles an hour. The evening planner, look for mostly fair skies, temperatures down into the mid 50s by 11 o'clock tonight. Our lows tonight will be right around 50 degrees, some upper 40s inland. The winds are rather light out of the east now. There's more of an easterly component to our wind, and that means warmer temperatures are on the way. And you can see that all the way up and down the coast from Manatee southward to Sarasota. The wind's anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour. Temperatures right now in the 70s, expected to drop down into the 50s. I mentioned right around 52 degrees at Sarasota at 6 o'clock. Well, much more in our forecast coming up in a few minutes. Let you know about some rain headed our way for Sunday. Details and all that coming up at 5. See you then.
The Tennessee Williams Classic, The Glass Menagerie, was first performed in 1945, and it's been revived many times since, including last year on Broadway with Sally Field. Now it's being staged in St. Petersburg at the Free Fall Theater, and actors Rob Glaus and Michael David are with us to tell about their interpretation of this wonderful play. First play I ever was in my whole life, so I love this show. But you graduated from the Oslo Conservatory, both of you.
Yes, in May.
Wow.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Great to be back.
Good time to be here.
Yeah.
At the Free Fall, you're back on stage. I understand there were some problems there after Hurricane Irma.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just did The Little Prince.
Yes, I
Down
was in
there.
The Little Prince down there, played the aviator.
Oh, right before the hurricane came through, right?
It was just after.
Oh, just- okay.
The hurricane came through during, what was,
It was in the fall.
it was in the fall, yeah.
Yeah,
And
in
you all
September.
moved, you had to move stages at one point, right?
That's
for that
right.
production.
Went from the Black Box Theater to what was
The auditorium.
the auditorium.
Yeah.
And we're
Well,
finally back in the
we're
Black
just glad
Box
it's back
now.
up
We're
and
back,
Yeah, we're back
and
up and running.
everything is the same now in the Black Box Theater.
Yeah.
Great. So, Rob, you play Tom Wingfield. That's supposed to be Tennessee Williams writing about himself in that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Tennessee Williams plays are very autobiographical, but many say, and I agree, this is kind of the most autobiographical. Like Tennessee Williams, Tom, my character, is in his early 20s. He's living in St. Louis during the Great Depression. He's supporting his mother and his sister on the modern-day equivalent of about $13,000 a year.
Wow.
So it's, yeah, extreme poverty. And his mother tries to kind of hatch a plot to marry off his sister to secure a future for all of them. So it's kind
So,
of what happens in the play.
In comes the gentleman caller.
Here I come.
It's my
That's right.
favorite
That's
character
Michael.
name.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Was Jim O'Connor is the name of the character, yeah.
You walk into quite a family situation there.
I do, yeah. I walk in, I find the Wingfields much different than the world that I'm used to. A lot of tension, a lot of family dynamics going on that are contrast to who I am and what I represent.
Well, how does this represent the families today? This was written in 1945. How is it relevant today?
Oh gosh. Well,
Well, maybe have you been to my house?
Or mine, by the way.
I think what makes any great playwright stand the test of time is he has universal themes. And I think that this play deals with family and financial struggle and longing and desire and desperation.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels very relevant. And poverty, of course. Yeah.
And at the core, it's about relationship.
Yeah.
It's really about how we interact and what we mean to one another and what our goals and dreams are.
And desperately trying to get love, trying to be loved.
That's right,
yes.
that's right,
His
yeah.
plays are so interesting, even A Streetcar Named Desire, and no spoilers for The Glass Menagerie, but there's something fascinating as an audience member watching characters almost unravel,
Yeah.
and then I know the show has a lot of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think these characters are doing the best they can with what they have. And I think that's a universal theme with all the great playwrights and great artists is that they show us at our worst doing our best sometimes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So how do you make it modern? How do you bring it up to date?
I think what's really special about this production is we're really leaning into the magic of the play. And at the time that Tennessee wrote it, you can see on the page he's kind of envisioning this multimedia experience. He suggests the use of projections.
Oh,
But
really?
now, but now we use. I mean, we have like video. We have this wonderful, like three-dimensional or two-dimensional at least, multimedia experience really happening in the theater, which I think elevates his work. And makes it more accessible.
We're
to
able to
today.
bring his vision more to fruition than maybe they had with the technology in 1945.
Well, and as Linda said, this is the play that we all did in high school.
Yeah.
And you know, high school plays are pretty staid. You know, there's not a lot of dimension or technology. So I think this is a great chance for people to see how it can be done at that next level.
And so intimately, in Free Fall Theater, when you see a show, you know, we're as close to the actors as we are to you right now.
Oh yeah.
Now, has doing this play impacted you personally? Has it made you look at things differently as well, like in terms of today's society?
Oh yes.
How so?
Well, I did the play in undergrad some years ago. And yeah, I mean, it's amazing how just a few years can change your complete. You know, so much life happens in that short period of time. So yeah, it's very moving, even more so now.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see it. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
yes.
The Glass Menagerie runs through February 25th at the Free Fall Theater in St. Petersburg. For ticket information, go to their website. Next, the latest in the Hollywood news.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
Puerto Ricans tend to lean Democratic, so I think Democrats are really excited potentially about this influx of voters that, could lean in their favor.
After Hurricane Maria tore through Puerto Rico, tens of thousands of residents moved to Florida. How will all those new registered voters influence future elections? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll discuss at our island trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Okay, there's been some big Hollywood headlines this week, so we thought we should do some discussing. We now know who's going to be our neighbor in the upcoming Mr. Rogers biopic. I am strangely excited about this. Variety's reporting that Tom Hanks will play the iconic gentle soul. It's called You Are My Friend, and the biopic is actually inspired by a real-life friendship between Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, and a figure this, cynical journalist. I didn't even know there were any. By writing a profile piece on Mr. Rogers, the journalist learns a life lesson of uncompromising love and kindness with all living things. Do you like the Tom Hanks casting?
I think he can do anything. I loved him when he was that outcast on a beach with a beach ball.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he'll be great with this. I do. But Mr. Rogers was so kind and gentle.
He does have a brashness in some of his roles that is definitely going to have to go away, because Mr. Rogers was the epitome of even
laid back.
But actually, have you seen, it goes viral every couple of years, some of the speeches where where Fred Rogers went to go speak to, I don't know if it was the FCC or some broadcasting, talking about programming for children is so important.
He was passionate.
Yeah, he had passion. And I don't think you have to be a nice actor to play a nice role, but I think we do have this nostalgia around Mr. Rogers, and we have it around Tom Hanks, so I think this is perfect casting.
Okay, I'm not sure yet.
Oh.
Yeah. Will you, I guess the next question is, will you see it? Are you interested in seeing it? I mean, that was a childhood for me.
I don't know.
I watched it every day.
Ruined, you know, because Mr. Rogers was this very good, special person, and I don't want him to change.
See, I think that's where I am. I don't see, you know, I'd have to see it. It's kind of like, what was it, Angela Bassett doing Tina Turner. Like now when I think of Tina Turner, I don't think of anybody else but Angela Bassett.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it's kind of one of those things, but Mr. Rogers was like, you know, my go-to.
He was
like,
special.
He was my man.
And Nicole Kidman ruined Bewitched. I have to say, when they did the remake of Bewitched, I thought it was good casting. It's terrible.
It's all about honesty.
All right, so you know what? I don't blame your hesitation.
All right, well, Joey's going to like this next update. The next Hollywood camera is actually probably in your hand right now. The Ocean's 11 director, Steven Soderbergh, shot his new Unsane movie completely with an iPhone. And he says he was so impressed with the quality that he will likely keep using iPhones to shoot his movies.
Wow.
He must shoot better than I do on an iPhone. I do pictures every day, and they're not so great.
Seriously, I tried to take one this morning when I was like, you know, running around, and I just kept trying to, like, I'm used to still using a camera. I can adjust the ISO. I'm not an afterward editor.
There's
like, I don't
so
like to
many
snap
things,
and edit
though.
afterward. I like to see it, you know.
Right.
Yes.
The stability things that we've seen and used in some of our shoots, where you can put it on a stick and it constantly, you know, it gets rid of the rocky. It balances for you. You know, I can see doing a pan in a movie scene and having that work effectively.
And if you look at a lot of movies, they're still using that kind of, the shaky cam, they call it. There's still a lot of point of view movement, so that would lend itself. I know when we do a lot of shoots for the show and also for other things, the camera that our producer Matt takes looks like a small little 35 millimeter. People are always amazed.
Yes, they're always
Are you
asking.
going to shoot video with that?
Yes.
Right.
So you don't need the big cameras for so many things anymore.
Absolutely. In fact, you'll see that in just a few minutes, because our Whole Foods field trip was taken with a camera just in his hand.
Oh, that is awesome.
So yeah, I mean, technology has got it there. I just like it because it's more available. You know, the kids shoot movies, they edit with iMovie. Why shouldn't the Hollywood director?
We can do it.
We can all do it. Okay, coming up next, what you might not know about picking the right shoe for you.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
Think outside the box.
Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. We're going to check back in with Mike from Cask and Ale. Great time of year to head out, enjoy the outdoors, your patio. Any new menus to go along with our winter season?
We've done a couple new revamps. We did a couple new cocktails for our brunch menu. We added a bottomless mimosa feature, bottomless Bloody Mary feature as well. We just re-released our new dinner menu as well. We've got a brand new happy hour menu out. So there's a lot of really new, really cool stuff going on over at Cask and Ale.
We're going to try your drinks. We have to eat too, so it's good to know we can do both. We'll see you in a little bit. Joey?
Well, you've heard the old saying, if the shoe fits, wear it. And if it doesn't fit, well, unfortunately, you are not alone. Many people are not wearing the proper fitting athletic shoe when they walk and run. And shoes that don't fit can impact your entire body. Here to help us is David Jackson from Fleet Feet in Sarasota. All right, we need you. This is a time of year where we're all running, we're all ready to go. How common is it to not be wearing the right size shoe?
So scary statistic, 87% of the American population wears the wrong size shoe.
Wow.
So it's important when you go into a store that you get sized properly.
Wow. So are most people making the mistake of going too big or too small?
There's really not a formula there.
Okay.
They go off of what they previously have worn, but an athletic shoe and a casual shoe is difference of a whole size. So the best thing is let us go through the measurement and we'll find the right shoe for you.
Now, what can be some of the damaging effects of wearing a shoe that's, say, too small?
The biggest challenge you run into is most folks lose toenails. They go out and run, they go out and exercise, they turn black, they think they have something going wrong with their foot, and it's actually too small or too big that they can slide around in the shoe and cause the toenail to turn black and lose the toe.
Oh, no.
Gross.
Yes. and do those problems continue to go up? I mean, does it affect other parts of the body?
So unfortunately, your feet are an important piece of the body, and other things stem from that. So massage and active release therapy is an important piece, not just on your feet, but on your legs, to make your feet feel better.
Oh, nice. All right, I'm all for any massage on the feet. So, all right, so we know we don't want the wrong size shoe. In order to get the right measurement, you have brought a 3D scanner that can measure our feet accurately. Tell us about the machine.
So, Joey, we're super fired up. Over at Fleet Feet, we have a 3D scanner. We bring the guests in, and so the measuring device, which is the Brannick, has gone away. And this is our new fit system. So we can look at length, we can look at width, arch length, we can look at the width of the heel, the instep height. It really gives us a great tool.
Wow. So, all right, so no more of those old metal pieces that used to...
the metal pieces in Fleet Feet are hidden in the back.
All right, so we're going to try this out. So, a typical fitting...
So, Joe, if you'll step on, we're going to get a quick scan of your feet. Takes about 3 seconds.
Okay.
And you can go ahead and step back off.
Wow.
What we're able to do is identify the size of the feet, because your foot size is obviously different than your shoe size.
Okay.
So crazy enough, you have 2 different size feet.
There was something wrong.
Your left foot is actually a half size longer than your right foot.
Wow. So that would obviously make, choosing one size difficult. Would you err on the side of the smaller foot or the larger
We always fit the larger foot.
Okay.
Okay, because the problem is if I go fit your smaller foot, then the bigger foot's going to suffer in the shoe.
All right. So, and I think we have some images of what you are seeing from my read. So this is the 3D scans. This is what you have access to if we get this measurement.
That's an image, and we have the ability to spin the foot to take a look at it. We can look at how awesome it looks. We can look at how ugly it looks. We can look at low arches, medium arches.
Does it pick up issues like if you have a prominent heel spur or a prominent bunion on the ball side? Does it read that?
It does not. We take that into evaluation when we go through the fit process in the interview to understand what your foot ailments are to make sure we recommend the right product for you.
Okay, because it's hard to fit something if you've got a bone poking one way or the other, as we all know.
So now, what we're looking at right here, what's happening? It looks like one of the feet isn't as steady.
So you can see on that left foot, when we looked directly behind, you can see the ankle kind of falling to the inside.
Got a funny ankle bone.
It's rotating inward. But on the right side, not necessarily the case. So that's why it's important to evaluate each feet, because they're all so different.
What does that mean for him, that he has kind of, is that an uneven gait he may
So
get?
in easy terms,
how bad
his
is it,
left
doctor?
arch is a little bit lower, which is causing the ankle to roll to the inside a little bit.
Interesting.
And I will confess, with a lot of dress shoes, I will wear the shoe, the heel will be at an angle like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, all right, so you have some tips when we are going, now that we have the measurements and now it's time to get the shoes, you have some tips. And let's start with, you said there's something about the shoelaces.
So a couple things. Not everybody has the same size feet.
Okay.
So on this particular model, if someone has a high instep, if their foot is very deep, we can alter the chain of the lace. It's a variable lacing system.
Okay. So what should we be looking at?
So in this particular area, I didn't cross over the shoe. I left that part open so your foot can actually accommodate in the shoe.
Okay.
Okay. On the right shoe, how many people's heels slip or they have narrow heels?
Yes.
So what we've done is we've called a runner's lace or bunny ears. You can secure the shoe in the back with the extra eyelet to keep it a little more secure in your heel.
Oh, nice. So it won't keep sliding, and that probably causes your toe to hit.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter what time of day or when you get your shoes measured, your feet measured?
Great question. We like the afternoon. You've been at work, your feet are a little more swollen, the size is more accurate.
You like puffy feet for measuring.
We like that.
All right.
That's a bonus.
That's interesting.
And do our feet change as we age?
Yes, they do. So every year, we recommend people coming and getting resized.
Okay.
And one of the reasons is as we age, sometimes the arches have a tendency to flatten out. And what happens when they flatten out? Your foot gets longer. So then we have to go to a new shoe.
This is great information. I know it's especially timely now on the Suncoast because we have so many races and 5Ks coming up. I know there's some coming up that you're involved with. Tell us about the Sarasota Music.
This weekend, great event going on. The Sarasota Music Half Marathon is taking place on Sunday. They also have a 10K as a part of the race this year. Packet pickup will be at our Stickney Point location, the New Balance location, on Friday from 2 to 8, Saturday from 10 to 4. We're super excited. There's about 4,000 folks coming to the event.
Oh, great.
That's great.
And there's, I believe last year there was 30-some states represented.
Wow.
Yeah.
And still, people can still register at this point. There may still be some
There's
spots
still
open.
time.
This is great. So, all right, you can stop by Fleet Feet Sarasota, that is on Osprey, to have your foot sized to make sure that you are wearing the proper size, especially before you do any running. You can also find them online at fleetfeetsarasota.com. And David, we can find you at New Balance locations as well.
Right.
All right, coming up next, we are going to take a field trip. Grab your sneakers, everybody. Hope they're the right size. We are running to the new Whole Foods.
Download the all-new ABC 7 First Alert Weather app now.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good afternoon, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. A former Venice High School football star preparing for Super Bowl 52. What his former coaches and mentors have to say about watching him play the biggest game of his career. Plus, why the Tampa Bay Rays team doctor is fired from 2 different positions. Now let's get a check on our First Alert weather forecast with Bob Harrigan.
Thanks, Jacqueline. We are watching a beautiful afternoon today after a very chilly start. Lows this morning were in the mid to upper 40s, wind chills into the 30s, but that is all going to change. It will be cool tonight, but not as cold as this morning. A beautiful sunset anticipated with some high clouds around, which will light up after that sun goes below the horizon. 71 right now. We have sunshine. The dew point pretty low. And winds are out of the east at 11, and the evening planner looks good. So don't cancel your plans if you're outdoors. 54 for temperature at 11 o'clock. More at 5.
Don't miss Suncoast Canines Thursday on ABC 7 News at 6.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Join ABC 7 at the all-new 2018 edition of Circus Sarasota. Ovation under the big top at Nathan Benderson Park behind the mall at UTC. Friday, February 9th through Sunday, March 4th. All opening weekend tickets are 20% off courtesy of ABC 7. To purchase your discount tickets, visit circusarts.org, the Circus Sarasota box office at the Big Top, or call 941-355-9805.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
It is a big day at the UTC area. University Station at Honore and University Parkway is now open for business, including its anchor tenant, the new Whole Foods store. It is the second Whole Foods right here on the Suncoast, and this one was designed especially with the Suncoast in mind. We took a field trip to check it out.
Our location here at University Station, we're at the corner of University Parkway and Honore, just down from Benderson Park. So this store is going to feature rowing. We kind of themed the decor around rowing. So as we tour the store, you will see elements of rowing implemented into the store. Whole Foods Market really likes to research and delve into the town and community that they are going to be building a store in before they build that store. So they really research Sarasota, the Lakewood Ranch area, and the area around University Parkway. Just here in our produce department, we actually work with over 20 local farmers. So we may carry products here that another Whole Foods Market wouldn't have because it's local to us. So we have a new cake program that we're coming out with where they're already pre-decorated. So for anyone that's in a pinch and needs a last-minute celebratory cake, you can come in, pick out your design, walk it over to the bakery, have them write on happy birthday or congratulations, and out the door you go. We are a traditional grocery store in the sense that we have all of the departments, but we also have our prepared foods section, which is big on grab and go. So anyone needs to grab something quick but still wants to eat healthy, we have a huge selection there. We also have our self-serve cold pressed juice on tap. In addition to our juice on tap, we now have organic soda on tap by Tractor Brewing Company. We are the first store in the Florida region to even be featuring this. This soda has 0 preservatives in it and it's made with cane sugar. This store is actually 40,000 square feet in total, and our biggest addition to the store is the Brasserie Honore, which is a restaurant, Parisian-style restaurant, that is going to be serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We also have sommelier-selected wines and beer on tap. There's also tables that you can sit at and lounge furniture that you can kind of relax. Our menu is completely French-inspired, so we have charcuterie, rotisserie chicken, and also made-to-order crepes. We have our Allegro coffee bar, which is actually located right at the front of the store, so people can just come in, grab a quick cup of coffee, and be on their way.
So tell us how all these different components of the store are kind of all the same within Whole Foods philosophy.
Whole Foods Market actually has very high standards all of our products must meet. Everything from our seafood department to our meat department to our grocery department, including even our bulk candy. So no artificial flavors or preservatives or sweeteners can be in any of our products.
Almost healthy candy.
Yes.
Almost. Oh, you're going to find us at the brasserie. This is so much more than a grocery store, and University Station is so much more than just Whole Foods. Jeff Garrison is with S.J. Collins, that is the developer of University Station, and he is here to tell us about the entire project. Thanks for joining us. You got to experience the official grand opening this morning. How did it go?
It was amazing. I mean, we had a crowd that was around the building, which was exciting, especially given the cold weather, which being from Atlanta, I'm not sure I was prepared for. But I think the enthusiasm really outweighed the cold winter front, and people were excited.
Good. Well, there's lots to be excited about. Now,
great ways to warm up in there, too.
Exactly. Coffee, he means, coffee. So we have noticed that entire plaza, University Station, has filled up really quickly. What do you attribute that to?
Well, it's such a prominent corner. I mean, you're everybody who goes to work, come home from work, or lives over there. It really is a part of the everyday life experience in Lakewood Ranch, Minnesota, North Sarasota. It really is just a part of the daily life. And so that really is the successful location for Whole Foods, because they really want to be a part of your daily trip where you're in and out and you're able to move in there quickly and get what you need, and it's a convenient shopping experience. So I think that's what it provides, and the success is due to that.
Absolutely, and there's a nice mix. We've certainly noticed that in the time we've already been able to spend there of, the restaurants, the dry cleaners, the gas stations, things you need,
The Tesla charging station, which is great. So that way you have, the Whole Foods lifestyle, and you get to plug in your car.
Absolutely, and Tesla really wanted to be close to Whole Foods, because if you've got 35 minutes to charge your car, it's a perfect place to go to the brasserie, grab yourself a crepe or some, food, enjoy the Wi-Fi, and then check out and go back.
Sounds like a plan.
Absolutely.
We were honored that this is the second Whole Foods location here on the Suncoast. Tell us a little bit about the commercial real estate market here.
Well, certainly you guys have seen all the cranes in downtown Sarasota and Lakewood Ranch. I heard they added 1,100 homes last year.
Wow.
I think the success speaks for itself. It's a beautiful lifestyle. It's a beautiful environment. I think people want to be here, and the more people that want to be here, the more commercial enterprises want to be here.
Well, we appreciate the developers like you want to be here and bring us all these great things, because it's all the better for us.
And jobs in that market too, which
absolutely.
is really great.
I believe 180 employees at the new Whole Foods store alone, we learned. So great. Well, thank you very much for being here. Obviously, now is a great time to head out to the new University Station. Lots of different things going on there, of course, anchored by the new Whole Foods Market. And head to their Facebook page. Lots of great information there at facebook.com, University Station Sarasota. All right, we'll be right back.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Carmina Burana in Motion. Carl Orff's choral masterpiece, Carmina Burana, bursts into life in this lavish production designed for 60 voices, 3 celebrated soloists, a 2-piano percussion ensemble, and dynamic premiere choreography performed by members of Sarasota Contemporary Dance. Do not miss this lush feast of the senses. Saturday, February 3rd, 4 p.m. at Church of the Palms in Sarasota. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org or by calling 941-387-4900.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face.
I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
All right, well, we've heard of athleisure, which is where you kind of marry athletic clothes with, kind of leisurely. Well, now there's a new trend, and it's hitting Instagram. It's called bath leisure. This all started with Rihanna when she was on the cover of British Vogue. So she's very high fashion there, you can see, but her hair is wrapped up in a towel. So this has been trending on Instagram and on all social media. People are now marrying the idea of, dressing up a little bit, but keeping that fresh out of the shower look.
Not a good idea.
If you search the hashtag bath leisure, you will find tons of these, and this is the current trend. So it's very simple. You just wear a comfortable top, some accessories, touch of makeup, and then wrap your head in your favorite
If I
towel.
take a towel selfie tomorrow, you will be sorry. That's all I'm going to tell you.
hoping to see, Linda, I totally think you could pull this off.
You're not going to see me with a towel on.
All right, well, where we will see you is in the kitchen. We're heading in with cask and ale to make a nice cocktail to stay warm. We'll be right back.
Don't miss Suncoast Canines, Thursday on ABC 7 News at 6. From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at 5 o'clock. An Amtrak train carrying members of Congress crashes into a truck at 70 miles an hour this morning. Lawmakers on board describe the scary experience. Taking a look at first alert traffic, right now we're seeing some slowdowns on US 41 near downtown Sarasota, right along North Gulfstream Avenue. Slow going at this hour. Let's get a check on the weather again with Bob.
Thanks, Scott. Beautiful afternoon after a very chilly start. Temperatures this morning were in the 40s, and the feels like temperature into the mid to upper 30s as a result of that wind. Now, we still have these high clouds ripping across the Gulf of Mexico. We'll see a gorgeous sunset tonight and a nice moon rise, too. It will be 99% full. 71 degrees right now. Dew point is at 45. Well, much more in our forecast and let you know about some rain headed our way for the weekend. Details at 5. See you then.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career.
Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Coming up Thursday at 4 on Suncoast View, he is college football's only two-time Heisman winner. He's coming here to kick off our Super Bowl celebration. We'll sit down with Archie Griffin of Ohio State and Cincinnati Bengals fame, and we'll look at Super Bowl ads past and present. Plus, save some cash with DIY dog grooming and healthier Super Bowl snacks with Brew Burgers in the kitchen.
Welcome back. We're here with Mike from Cask and Ale. How's it going?
Oh, so good.
Okay, so you have to tell me, this looks like a science experiment. What is going on?
A little bit. There's a little chemistry going on
Being
here.
a bartender's a little like being a chemist.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely. With this cocktail, this is the On the Lash. It's an original cocktail that I created that we just added to our dinner menu.
Okay.
It's Irish whiskey, Jameson Irish whiskey, a little bit of the Cokie vermouth. It's a sweeter vermouth, a lot of berry flavors, oranges, vanillas. We have a little bit of apple cider reduction that's going into it, a little lemon juice for acidity, egg white for texture, and then we're going to finish it off by smoking it with some apple wood.
All right. And I'm sorry, what's the name again, Mike?
On the Lash. It's
On the Lash.
It's an Irish slang term for going out drinking.
On the Lash.
We're going on the lash.
We're
going
on the
lash
lash
here. So to start with this cocktail, we're going to start with a little bit of the egg white, one egg white, and basically what that does, it adds a little bit of a velvety texture to the cocktail.
Velvety's good.
It's going to just make it really smooth, and it also gives it a really nice froth on top.
And it's healthy. You get your protein.
There you go. You get protein. It's got the apples in it, the citrus. So
it's practically
we've got
a health drink.
Hey, covered.
That's right.
And then for the not so healthy but the fun part, we're going to add an 1.5 ounces of the Jameson Irish whiskey.
Ooh, a nice way to stay warm.
Yeah, you really measure.
Good point.
And the good thing about this cocktail, I mean, it was kind of designed with the changing seasons in mind. You've got the apple cider, a lot of these warm feelings.
Wintry flavors.
Wintry flavors, exactly. But on the at the same time, it's light enough that during the summer, once it warms up a little bit, it'll be nice and refreshing. So we're going to do a 1/2 ounce of the Cokie vermouth.
Is there a difference with Cokie vermouth?
There's several different types of vermouth. This one, it's over, the recipe itself is over 100 years old.
Oh, wow.
So it's been around for a long time. Vermouth basically just means wormwood.
Okay.
So it's got a lot of those flavors, a lot of the anise flavors, like I said, a lot of the darker berries. We're going to add 3/4 ounce of lemon juice.
Oh.
That's just going to add a little acidity to it, kind of balance everything out. Then we're going to get our sweetness from the apple cider reduction. It's a spiced apple cider reduction, so you got a little allspice in there, cloves, cinnamon. And that's going to do it for that. So now what we want to do is we want to give it a dry shake to kind of build up that foam.
What's dry shake mean? Nothing? No ice in it?
We're not adding the ice into it yet. We're just going to go ahead and shake it as it is. And that's going to kind of get that egg to froth up and kind of add some of that texture to it. So we're going to give this a nice hard shake.
The shaking method.
Everybody has their own. Everybody has their own. Every shake is different.
Mine's pretty boring.
So we go ahead and we get that started. And now we'll add a little bit of ice. As it goes everywhere.
This is a great idea as we're going into Super Bowl. You can kind of class up your Super Bowl party or Valentine's.
Absolutely. So now that we have that shape, we're going to let that sit for a second. We're going to go ahead and smoke our carafe.
Uh-oh.
So this is the applewood smoke. This is where we start getting a little fun with everything.
Okay.
And why are we doing this?
Because we can.
Because we can.
Okay, got it.
It's just going to impart a smokiness. The egg whites are going to maintain a lot of that smoke. It's going to help with the smell of the cocktail, and everybody loves the smell of a good campfire.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, look
Drinking
at
the
that.
campfire.
And it also makes a pretty cool presentation.
It
Yes,
does.
yes, it does.
So what we'll do now is we'll actually pour the cocktail into the carafe.
Oh, to put the
Smell that?
smoke
This will
in
pick
it.
up the flavor, though.
Oh, I wish you could smell what we are smelling. Oh, it's so milky
looks
looking
pretty
from the
too.
egg white. That's fascinating.
Oh.
So many great cocktails at Cask and Ale. Great
Yeah.
food as well, but I mean, I'm really, really fascinated by the craft cocktail
We
menu.
try to, we pride ourselves on our cocktails, of course, but everything that really pairs really well with each other. All the food is designed to go with cocktails. A lot of the food is actually cocktail inspired.
Oh, great.
The creativity, though, I mean, that's where you guys really shine.
That's where we make our bread and butter. I mean,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have not seen this before.
Right. This is definitely
And there's
different.
one glass, so I called dibs.
This
It has
is
to
great.
pass by me to get to you.
All right, this is the On the Lash cocktail created by Mike at Cask and Ale. It is smoky and warm and wintry, yet light, all at the same time.
Absolutely.
So, and very complicated to make. That's why we go to Cask and Ale. You notice we didn't even try to catch up or get a part of that. So lots of great cocktails at Cask and Ale. Don't forget the amazing menus as well. So Sheba, great to have you. I'm arm wrestling for the cocktail. Take some time, enjoy the Suncoast view.